round two of our career speaker day. Excited to have with us Mr. O'Banion, who's going to share a little bit of his experiences within the technology field, a little background about himself. Again, keep in mind he is here for your benefit, so it's what you can take out of it. So please take out the earbuds, put away the phones, give him your attention. Again, he's here to share his knowledge, his experiences for your benefit. Think about, as he goes through his presentation, how things might apply to your specific career goals, your aspirations, what you want to accomplish in life, and maybe translate that into some questions that you might have, because again, he's here for your benefit. So, Mr. O'Banion.
Thank you. Good morning. Okay, sorry. Good morning. How's everyone? Good, good. No, for you guys that are sitting back, why don't you guys come up a little closer? We're going to show some things on the projector here that you'll be able to see. So there's a couple of seats right over here. Get you coming up a little closer. What grade are you guys? Seniors? All seniors? What? Sophomores? What? Junior? Freshman? Sophomore? Any of you guys know Jordan O'Banion? Goes here? That's my nephew. Little light-skinned guy. Carrot top, whatever. Anyway. But my name is Christopher O'Banion, and I'm happy to be here with you guys this morning. And I have some questions I want to ask you before we get started. How many of you want to do something after you get out of high school? Okay. What do you want to do?
I want to be like a firefighter.
Firefighter? What do you want to do? A web designer. Oh man, I like that. Okay. What do you like to do? Sports management. And you? Start your own business. Okay, yes.
Real estate.
Real estate? And what would you like to do, sir? Computer tech support? Okay. And you, young man?
Just start my own business.
Start your own business? Okay. What else?
Civil engineer.
A civil engineer? Yes, sir.
Software developer.
Software developer? Yes, sir. So, oh, you copied off him, huh? You guys going to be in the same firm? Okay. And you? So and you were hiding it too. You can stop texting. What's stop texting? What do you want to be when you grow up? An entrepreneur? Okay. Guess what? For all of you who said you wanted to be in business in one way or another, raise your hand. Okay? Entrepreneur means being your own business too. Okay? For those of you who would like to do something which is like real estate, we were talking about civil engineering, firefighting, things like that. Those are great fields to be in as well. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about business and what is business and why that can help you long-term or short-term. Obviously, we want to get our education. Isn't that true? Many of you want to get your degree, and that's great that we can get our degree. But I want to give you a little test. How many people know, how many people live in Indianapolis area? Yes, sir. How many? How many people live in Indianapolis area? No, I'm just saying. How many people live, how many people actually live in the city or suburbs of Indianapolis? Anybody know that statistic? Huh? 86,000? No. Okay. Million? Anybody else? Okay. There's 3.7 million people that live in the Indianapolis and the suburban area. Okay? Now, of those 3.7 million, when it comes to business, how many businesses are in Indianapolis to support those 3.7 million? How many businesses do you think there are? Huh? 67? No. Okay. There's about 500,000 businesses in Indianapolis. Now, those millions of people who live here, and there's 500,000 business owners. Who makes the money? The business owners, right? So, are there 500,000 people smarter than you guys? So think about that when I start talking about some things. How many of you know what technology is? Okay. How many of you have something like this? An iPhone or a Samsung tablet? How many of you got your Beats in or whatever? Okay. Why do you use those things? What does that allow you to do? Here? Huh? Oh, so you have privacy when you're doing your own thing. But what else do you do with these devices? Huh? Okay. And what else do you do with these devices? network, what else? Research, okay, on your desk there's a computer, right? How'd you like to walk around with that all day? That wouldn't work, right? Kind of heavy, bulky, and everything like that. But do you know that the iPhone or Samsungs are more powerful than these computers? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this. My company is WebSource International, and before I started my company, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My name is Christopher O'Banion, and I was born in Chicago in the 60s, 1961, moved to Maryland, 1970, and I got my first taste of what business is like in 1970. The reason I did was that I grew up just with my mom. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 6 months old. Not my fault, I didn't know who my dad was. But my mother said, if you want something, you gotta get you some money in your pocket. And I got a paper route back then, and throwing papers, I was making like $3.80, $4 a week, distributing papers. Now back then, that was a lot of money. But then, as I started going on, I started working at a liquor store where I'd take the boxes apart and stock the shelves with, with the liquor and everything like that. And then from there, I started working at a place where they started unloading trucks for the big department stores and working in that area so I could have money in my pocket. But then I saw this one kid, and he had lawnmowers. And you know what he did? He had a lawnmower, and he'd go and cut lawns, and they'd pay him like $5 or $10 to cut everybody's lawn. And he had 10 times as much money as I did. So guess what I did? Got some lawnmowers. And I started mowing lawns, and back in the day, you could mow a lawn for $3 to $5, and if you do 10 lawns, you can make $30 in a day. That's not a bad deal. But today, what's the biggest problem that you guys have today? You don't have enough what in your pocket? Money. And what do you always do when you want money? You have to go to who? Parents. And what do your parents always say to you? Get a job. What else? Chores, other than you have to earn it, right? Some sort of things like that. So I was just talking to a group over at Northwest High School this past Saturday, and these are some troubled kids, and they say, oh, ain't nothing to do, I can't find a job, can't do anything like this. I said, give me 3 guys. So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. You 3 right here. You just started a lawn business. I'm giving you 3 lawnmowers, 1, 2, 3, and you can go mow lawns. And you'll get paid, let's say $30 a lawn. And if you guys cut 6 lawns in a day, how much money did you make in a day? 6 lawns, $30 a piece. $180. You made $180 divided by 3, how much do you each get a piece? $60. If you made $60 a day and you did that for 5 days, how much money would you have? $300 in a week, right? If you did that for 4 weeks, how much money would you have? $1,200 in a month. What would you do with $1,200 in your pocket right now? What'd they do? They just mowed lawns, right? And if you did that every month, how much money would you have? Oh, you might diversify. You might also shovel snow for those same customers, right? You guys, are you following my logic right here? So you can always make money. You just have to figure out, well, what do you do to do that? Okay. So after I got out of high school, I went to the military, and I was an air traffic controller. And actually, I got a chance to fly F-16s. I wanted to show you guys. This is me back in the day. I was going to show this to the other group. That's me in an F-16 fighter plane. You guys see that there? Yeah, I'm one of those crazy guys and everything like that. And that's me in the cockpit again. But the reason I'm showing you that is that I started out as a guy running track after I stopped playing football. And then I was a guy that played overseas in the Spanish Pro League, because my dad, I found out later, Christmas Addicts, and he was the class of 1951 that was in that Hoosiers movie. And that's my dad right there in the middle, number 14. So if you walk into Christmas Addicts High School, you'll see a big thing on the wall, and it's a picture of my dad's class with Ray Crow for the class of 51. And Christmas Addicts actually is playing for the state championship this weekend. First time since 1969. Why am I telling you that? I played sports. I can outrun all of you. I can outball all of you. But I'm old now. I'm 55. My knees don't work good. But I wanted to be that athlete and everything too. But I had something that I started learning about, which was business. Because after I got hit, and I woke up, after that hit in football, I realized I don't want to do football anymore. You guys understand that? Anybody ever been hit? It doesn't have to be that type of hit, but it has to be something that just makes you say, whoa, maybe I shouldn't do that. I need to do this now. And that's what happened to me. I started thinking more about being a business person. Well, as time went on, I got out of the military. I started a company in 2000. Any of you guys still were born in 2000? Okay, so that's when my daughter was born too. And I started a company developing websites in Chicago. A gentleman came up to me and said, hey, I want you to develop websites for businesses. And I said, I don't know anything about websites. And he said one major thing. 8 out of 10 businesses do not have websites. iPhone, when did it come out? How many years ago? You guys were 10 when it came out. Huh? So, it's been out 8 years, right? Are you guys 18 yet? That's it? Oh, okay, close. All right. You might have been 9 or 8 then, okay? But this has been out for 8 years. Just think when this came out, if you were the one that brought this out, could you imagine where it is today? Because after the iPhone came out, what else came out after that? Samsung, right? How many of you have an iPhone or a Samsung? What was a spin-off from the iPhone that made somebody a billionaire? You guys know? Who has earbuds? What's that earbud that people always like?
Beats.
That, huh?
Beats.
Beats by who?
Dre.
Dr. Dre made $1 billion by putting his name on that. Who would like to have that billion? Any guys? I'm trying to give you guys an idea. New technologies are coming out all the time, so you have to be able to do something that's going to make a big difference. Now, a lot of you talked about having your own business, right? Okay, now, if a person does not want your product or service, what do? If they don't want you, if they don't want their lawn cut, what do? Shovel snow, right? Or maybe you might do some landscape or some, do something to give them extra value, right? Well, I started my company building websites because businesses didn't have websites. But then, when businesses had websites, they needed something called e-commerce. Who knows what e-commerce is? Anybody know? Have any of you ever bought something online, a product or service? Or know anyone that has? E-commerce is the means where that transaction takes place. So a perfect fit for somebody who has a website, if they wanted to sell their products, they would need e-commerce to what? Have people take payment added to a shopping cart and be able to check out. You guys know what that is, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, I added that to what I do. Then the next thing is they needed what's called a point of sale system. How many of you guys know what a POS system is? You ever gone to a restaurant and they say, can I take your order? And you say, yeah, give me a number 2. Boop, boop. And yeah, give me some fries. Boop. You want large fries? Yeah. Boop, boop. And they do all that. That's called a point of sale system. So I started putting those machines in businesses because they needed a website, they needed e-commerce, and they needed a POS system. Now, imagine this. Every time that somebody orders from that business that I put that machine in, I get paid. Who would like that? Okay? Because I earn a nickel every time a credit card is swiped or an order is placed. That's not a bad deal. But that's what businesses needed. And then they needed to have the ability to take credit cards. You guys have a credit or debit card yet? Okay, so you don't carry money with you, right? You swipe the card. So every time a card is swiped, I get about 10 cents. Not a bad business. But businesses need that technology. Now, another thing happened is where businesses needed something called mobile apps. What's a mobile app? Who knows what an app is? Software developers. Let's talk geek talk over here. We've got 2 software developers. What's an app? Okay. So what does it do? Talk to your phone. Okay. What's your definition?
This is an application that you can run on your phone. It's like interacts with something else, another server, or.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
Any software running on your phone.
Many software running on your phone. Okay. Now, how many of you used to go to websites all the time? You used to get on your computer and you type www.mac.com. What's that? Mac.com. You guys know what Mac is? That's makeup for women, right? Okay. www.espn.com. What's that? That's sports. We know what's going on. So we used to do that. Now, what do? We go directly here to our phone. Once we log on, now we can just touch our phone and get whatever we want instantly, right? So if we do that, what's the benefit of doing that? An app is faster, quicker, and apps don't have databases. It's not slowing you down. It's just instant, boom, 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 and it's just there. So I started building apps for businesses. Now, imagine this. Who said that they're going to be a realtor? Okay? If I build a website for you, that would be great. We can have that. We can put all your properties on there too. If I build an app for you, you can push new property listings to all your customers or potential customers, right? And if you were able to take payments, for example, appraisals or other types of things, that wouldn't be a bad deal either. Would you do business with me if I put all that together for you? Huh? You probably would, right? Now, why am I saying that? Because if she came to me, I can help her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. But what if she had to go to 5 different people for all the services that she wanted? Is that a good thing? Or how would you like to have all your services under one roof? Just like the lawn care. You want somebody else to do the landscaping and shoveling for your customer that you cut their lawn? Not at all, right? You want to do all that together. Yes, sir.
So that's your website, right?
Yes.
What's the vibe?
Huh?
Is that hosted by you guys?
Yeah, I have my own service, yes. So WebSource International is my company. Now, if we scroll down on that, I just want to give you guys an idea. Go down a little further. Pretty much, I don't know how I can help a business, but I have to educate them why they need what they need. Does that make sense? I'm not going to go through all this. And the reason I'm showing you this here is that one of your students, who is a senior here, Ethan Aguilar at Pike High School, has been working with me since the beginning of the year. And last year I had 2 interns. So let's go to some websites that Ethan had a chance to build. Okay, I want to just give you guys an idea. Let's go to Tracy Laswell Photography. Now, one of your students started with me in August, and he started building websites. So you can scroll back up to the top. So Tracy Laswell was one of my customers who's a photographer. And Tracy wanted to be able to show all of his products and services through a website. So I gave the project to Ethan to do, and what Ethan did was he took gallery of a lot of the pictures. So on the front page we have a rotating gallery. And if you look at the top, it says About Us, Weddings, okay? And let's do Book Online, because booking online is really important for a photographer. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? Your security is blocking. Your security is blocked, that's okay. Or go to Contact Us. Okay, well these are forms and contracts, just to give you an idea. You guys have good security here. You can't do anything on your network.
We can.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about that. But what I was trying to show you is that if the client wanted to book this photographer, it asks all the questions for the photographer to help the customer out. Now, if there's a contract or a model release, you know, if they're shooting pictures, all those forms are made available, and those probably won't open up either. But that's something that we put together. So let's go back to the top, and let's go back to the weddings. Okay. And on this, these are different wedding shots, and this is going to be a slideshow of, you know, the work that this photographer's done. Now, just looking at this right now, just from off, you know, just first time, if you're looking for a wedding photographer, is that a nice website? Is it pretty informative, clean, not all gaudy and everything like that? Well, that's what Ethan did. Let's go to another one. And let's do RCE Indy. Now, RCE Indy is a company over on Zionsville Road, just down the street, and you've probably seen these trucks. And they do lawn maintenance, they do building maintenance, facilities maintenance, carpet cleaning, water damage, all those different things. And we built this website basically for the customers to see. You can scroll down a little bit. So They do office cleaning. They have specials on carpet and things like that. So when we put this together, this lets them know, kind of like a showcase of their website. So if you look at Serve Pro or some of these other big websites, the website looks just like this. Ethan built this. I helped him, but you know, he was pretty much the one behind the scenes doing a lot of the work. But does that look like a professional website or a web developer? Who's the web developer here? You were? You were, right? You want to be a web developer, right? Yeah. Is that a pretty nice website? Okay, let's look at a couple other ones. See if that river recreation at the top comes up, at the very top. Let's see if that one comes up. Nope. Okay. All right, let's do the Indianapolis All-Stars. And there's an ABA basketball team in town called the Indianapolis All-Stars. And this is the website. Ethan built this. And the ABA, you know, a lot of people want to go to the NBA. Who wants to be a professional athlete? Anybody in here? Who's going to be in the NBA or NFL? Anybody? Well, not everybody makes it. You guys know who Yogi Ferrell is? He played for Park Tudor, IU. What team does he play for now? The Mavericks, right? Okay, do you know how much money he's making right now? $207,000 a year. Go to ESPN roster, Dallas Mavericks, you'll see Yogi's salary. Now, he was supposed to be making millions, right? But Dirk is making $25 million. Some of the other players, JJ Barea is making $6 million. Why is he making only $200,000? Sometimes you got to be a lot better than what you are. So what I'm getting at is that you might not make all that millions and do all those other different things, but you still have to have something to fall back on, education in your business. So you have to put yourself in that position. Let's look at one more website, and then we'll finish up. One of the last ones that he just worked on was, let's do partner link staffing. Oh, we got it. Sorry about that. And partner link staffing is a website that provides jobs for people who might have had trouble with the law. Do you guys know anybody who's been arrested or DUI or whatever, they can't get a job? Well, they find jobs for people, and I'm not talking about any job, but good paying jobs, because people need second chances, isn't that true? Okay, so he helped build this, and you can scroll down on this. So this is a nice website we put together, and people can sign up, and they can put all their other information in here like that, and there's Keystone Crossing. The reason I'm showing you all of these websites is that since August of this past year, Ethan's been working with me, and he's helped build 11 or 12 websites over the course of the year. Now, when he graduates high school this year, guess what he wants to do? He wants to open up an office down the hall for me, building websites and apps. And he's still going to go to school. Why is that important? You guys are the future. You guys are geeks. Right now, if there's a problem at home with technology, who do they come to? Have they ever asked you how to fix something? How do you do this? How do you work this phone? How do you do all these things? Do you know what value that holds? And even if you go to a business, you look like geeks. I'm saying it in a good way. Geeks get paid. You guys understand that? Now, for these websites that we build for the clients, let's say we charge them $2,000 for a website. If I pay you 25% to build a website that costs $2,000, how much money do you make? 25% of $2,000. 1/4 of $2,000 is how much? $500. So if you made $500 just for building a website, is that okay? But what if I increase your pay to 50% and you make half of what it costs for the websites? Is that good money? So $1,000 that you make and you charge a client $2,000, you make some pretty good money. Why am I telling you that? Because you think apps cost less? Apps cost a whole lot more. And the good thing about it is that when we build apps and we show people why they need apps, you get paid on that as well. So, you know, whether it's apps or websites. Now, the other big thing that's happening now is video surveillance technology. How do you know what surveillance cameras do? What do? Huh? Watch everything, right? So a lot of businesses and homes need surveillance cameras. And we can install them, and guess what you can do? You can pull them up on your phone, So you can go to a customer and just say, hey, I can show you what's going on with this restaurant just by pulling up the app. And now I've got a restaurant, this is live at a restaurant in Chicago that I did. You guys understand what I mean? So when we put the technology in, we then build, get the app connected to it, and now they can see live what's happening at their location. That's technology. And you get paid a lot of money for doing that. And that's where I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas that this can be a great path for you to learn the technology, because in 5 years it's going to change even more. Now, the last group was asking questions, and one person asked a question. They said, well, how much do you make? 6 figures. My goal this year is to do $250,000. Anybody like to make $250,000? My wife is happy. I mean, I'm happy, but I work. And somebody said, well, what's the most you made? The most I made in 1 month is about $30,000. Is that okay? Well, how'd you do that? Well, I'll give you the project. Harold Washington Cultural Center in Chicago, Illinois. They needed a whole new network set up. We put in servers, we put in 37 computers in the computer lab. So let's say this was the computer lab, and we had to put in video surveillance technology. The total for that was $28,700. The other overrun cost that we had to get a scissor lift, those lifts that lift you up, because we had to go very high. The Harold Washington Cultural Center is just like the Palladium. Who's been to the Palladium? You know how it's big, and so we have to put cameras up pretty high, about 25, 30 feet up to do that. So if they pay me $30,000 to do that, who gets paid? My company. And then I pay my workers. And I buy the technology to put it in, and I make about $12,000, $13,000. It's not bad, is it? But that's being a business owner. Now, if I worked for a company that did this, I only allocated $6,000 out for my workers. So how much do they get paid? Like $2,000 apiece. 3 workers. You guys understand that? So when you do things like that, and you help a business, or you help like a school district, or you help like the city. I built a website for the city of Chicago Heights. I had that for about 7 years. It's just you negotiating and doing the things that you have to do. Okay? Any questions so far? I know I've covered a lot. Any questions? Yes, sir. What I use? Well, HTML5 and Visual Basic, and I have my own servers. I have SQL servers, and also I have other servers through one-on-one. So I've been maintaining those since I acquired my first servers in 2002. And then as technology changed, I upgraded to newer and newer technology. So I got about 4,000 websites.
Sorry, website is used a lot of CSS too.
Yeah. Yes. Huh? Yeah, with glasses. Your neighbor was down, okay, off of Lafayette Road, across the way? Yeah. So, yes, ma'am. Well, I didn't learn how to develop it. What I did was I bought it. So when the person asked me to come in and start building websites in the very beginning, my first month I built 14 websites and made $7,000. 2 years later, I bought the technology, which basically means I own the license for the software. Now, I understood how it worked. I wasn't a programmer per se, but I understood how the technology worked. And then I find people who create things, and then I buy it. And then when you buy it, it's white label and it's yours. So that you can use it for whatever platform or whatever things that you want to use it for. And that's how I became an Apple developer, Google Play developer, and Amazon developer, because you get the license and then you can acquire the ability to do it, and then you can place it on the different platforms for when you do a lot of things.
Got about a minute left.
A minute?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Any other? Yes.
Huh?
Well, license for I have a programmer, his name is Kirk Barnum, and he creates whatever technology I want, which was ASP in the very beginning, then it was .NET, and then now HTML5, and then whatever other technology that we need to create. So there are people who are programmers who can create stuff. They don't sell anything. They just create it and it's just out there. I just take it and I just put it on the platform and I can build it, but I own the technology because I paid for it. Yes. Anything else? Okay, last thing What's my name? Christopher O'Banion. Okay. Where am I from? Chicago. Okay. What's the name of my company? Web Source International. And what's the good thing about being a business owner? You can make money, but you need technology. And the best thing you can do with the technology is just learn how to work with it. And if you can provide some of these services that I've talked about, guess what happens? It's a great future for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Perfect.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. That was good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, I just have one question.
Yes.
You talked about internship.
Yes.
So what would be like the practice?
You can talk to Mr. Coates. And you know Mr. Coates?
I do not.
They're in right next to me. He's
Yeah.
he's the
And
department.
Are you what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay.
A little too.
Talk to him about the intern program.
Okay.
And then maybe you guys can come on to it too.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.